and welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 10th July 2024. So let's get started with our discussion. So open your papers. Okay, so here I am taking daily edition. So in this daily edition, you can see this is a front page. So in this front page, we can see one article which is very much relevant. So if you see title, it says Putin accepts Modi's request to release Indian military recruits. So where we can fit this article? It is talking about Indian military recruits. So where we can fit this article exactly? We have GS paper 2 under international relations, and in this international relations we have India bilateral relations, right? So in this India bilateral relations, we are going to study about India-Russia relations. So indirectly, this India military recruits in this Russia-Ukraine war is related to India-Russia relations. So what is the story? So do you know the story about why Indians are going and why they are participating in this Russia-Ukraine conflict? Yes, one thing is clear that, yes, in Russia what is happening? Russia-Ukraine war is going on, yes? So Russia-Ukraine war is going on. So what are the points we have to connect here? What are the points we have to revise here? Tell me. What are the points? Forget everything? NATO? Yes or no? What is this NATO? North Atlantic Treaty Organization. So Ukraine wants to join this NATO. So because of this, Russia started attacking this Ukraine, that Ukraine should not join this NATO. So this is the first important thing. And actually, you know well that from more than 2 years onwards, consistently war is going on between Russia and Ukraine. Yes. But how these soldiers, they are working constantly. Do you get this any doubt? So actually the people who are working from Russian side, like helpers, like soldiers, etc. So there are some illegal trafficking of humans is happening from India, especially Indian youth, they are attracted and they are taken to Russia, and now in Russia they are like acting as a front line soldiers to fight against this Ukraine. Okay, so this is a story, and this youth who are participating in this are called as Indian military recruits. Okay, so now what is the issue is, you know that in yesterday's class we discussed, right, about India-Russia relations. So our Prime Minister, he is going to meet Putin sir. Yes or no? So in this meet, actually our Prime Minister, he talked about this Indian military recruits, and he asked Putin sir to send back them to India. So this is about this article, right? So from which dimensions or from which subjects we can add? So first one is, as I said, it is India-Russia relations from GS paper 2. Apart from that, we can also add this with GS paper under society or societal issues. And can we connect this topic with GS paper 3 under economy or not? So why these people, they are moving towards Russia? So if they are getting employment in India itself, so they are happily working in India, so they will not attracted to Russia to work there as helpers, right? So whose failure it is? It is our government failure. So government is not able to provide enough employment opportunities, so that people, they are going to other areas. So that is the thing that you can connect. So how many subjects totally we can connect with? So first one is IR, second one is economy, and third one is your society, because after they are going there, so the family people who are present here, they will be suffering. So what will be the impact on society? Is it clear? Can you collect with these three? Yes, right? So now let us see in this article in detail. So what this article is saying that finally Putin sir, he agreed to release this people who had been recruited, especially Indians who are working as a war frontliners, because of our request of our Prime Minister. Our Prime Minister, he finally made him to accept to send back our Indian military recruits to India. Okay, now let us see the key points. So actually this article, it is like this much, but each and every word which is present there is not at all useful. So what you have to see is what are the key points that I am giving. So I will be giving you not more than like your 4 key points are there. So if you read that, that is very helpful, because I am including the words, what exactly you have to write in your answers. Because in your mains answers you have to write certain keywords. So examiner will be searching whether you wrote that keywords or not. So that keywords I am keeping in this box. I am keeping heading as a key points. So you have to read this for sure. And if you find any keyword, you have to make a note of that. Okay, so first point says that, so whenever we are having this agreement between Putin and as well as Modi, so it showcases that, yes, we are having a strong diplomatic ties. And the diplomatic ties is a keyword that you have to write whenever you are writing about international relations related answer. So you have to use this word, diplomatic ties. Okay, so it shows about, yes, we are having a very good ties between India and Russia. So because of this, as soon as our Prime Minister requested, Putin sir accepted this request and he wants to send back our Indian military recruits. And next one here is, so the decision to discharge Indian military recruits from Ukraine war front highlights that, yes, we are focusing on especially diplomatic discussions, and even there is increased pressure from Indian embassy in Moscow. So actually what happened is, so in one CBI search, so this racket had been busted out, and we came to know that yes, Indians are recruited and Indians, they are acting as a frontliners in Ukraine war. Okay, so because of that incident which had been well known and even that had become very viral in social media, so because of that, what happened, whatever the embassy which is present in Moscow, that is Indian embassy in Moscow, so they are also pressurizing Moscow and as well as Russian government officials to send back our Indians who are working as frontliners back to their home. Okay, so that is also one important thing that you have to see. And next one here is, because of increased pressure on government to take action, so now they are going to release them. So that is one more important thing that you have to focus. And actually, if you see the story, what happened and how we came to know about this Indian recruits who are working in this Russian military karke. So actually, one CBI search. So a multi-state human trafficking network. So this network has been busted by CBI, and finally they found that in 7 cities they are operating and they started recruiting youth. Okay, so why these youth are attracted? Because so these youth, they will be hypnotized that you will be getting better life in Russia and you will be getting better salary and better standard of living. So you have to work just as a helpers in the Russian army, so that you will be getting good perks and even you will be getting salary more than 1.5 lakhs karke. So they said, and they hypnotized the people. Okay, and this youth who had been hypnotized, so they started moving with them, and this is the one type of human trafficking. So is there human trafficking word in our polity? Yes or no? So there are fundamental rights which says that, yes, prohibition of human trafficking. So can we connect this article with our fundamental rights topics? Yes. So one more dimension you can add here is polity. There you can see human trafficking against what are the laws which are present in India and which are the articles which are protecting the rights of the people. So those two you have to know. And this type of human trafficking is an example of organized crime. And organized crime is also one of the internal security issue. So can we connect with GS paper 3 under internal security? Yes. So apart from 3 dimensions I gave, you can also add polity part and as well as internal security. So in this way, you have to read any article interconnectedly, so that if you are getting a question regarding this topic, you can write in answer polity dimensions, internal security dimensions, international relations dimensions, right? So in this way, try to write your answers in a multi-dimensional manner. Am I clear? Okay, so where is Russia is located? And whenever you are getting international relations topic or article, so try to open your atlas. How many of you are having atlas? You have to buy atlas for sure. You have? Do you have? You have to buy atlas. And you have to open where exactly that so and so country is located, and you have to see which are the other countries sharing boundary with that Russia. So tell me, how many countries are sharing boundary with Russia? So students, your question is, tell me how many countries are sharing boundary with Russia, because Russia is the largest country in the world. And because of its vast expanse of geography, so many countries, even more than 10 countries, they are sharing boundary with Russia directly. So you have to know exactly the countries which are sharing boundary with Russia. So here in this map, we always know that yes, Ukraine is sharing. Yes or no, Ukraine. So apart from Ukraine, here we have Mongolia part, and we have Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Finland, etc. And you have to see which are the countries exactly sharing boundary. And here you have to remember all those countries for sure. Because last year you got last year you have got like countries which sharing boundary with North Sea. So before last year you have country sharing boundary with Afghanistan. So like that every year there will be one question regarding the countries which are sharing the water bodies, or else the countries which are seen highly in news. Okay, you got Ukraine also in 2023. So that thing you have to see. And now let us move on to other articles. So here, is there any article important? Yes, here you can see one article, Kathua anti-militancy operations stepped up, attackers still elusive. So in yesterday's class itself, we studied about militancy activities or infiltration which is going on in this Jammu and Kashmir, right? So within 48 hours itself, 4 times we saw there were attacks in this region. So it is a very, very difficult situation to maintain law and order. So that is an example of our internal security issues. So yesterday's class itself, we discussed this topic in detail. So we're not going to take this for again. And if you go on to city page, I found nothing much important actually from our today's paper, and even the states page also. So do you find any article which is important in state in the state space? Anyone? Have you gone through paper? No? Very good. You? So which edition you have? Hyderabad or Delhi? Then tell me which article is it? So I didn't find anything in states page today. Okay, in which page at least? Tell me. Yes, tell me. At least tell me which topic it belongs to. Oh, yeah, Maharashtra to give free higher education to AWS and OBC girls, right? Is this? Yeah, so this article is important because it is directly talking about higher education. Okay, what is the keyword? Keyword is higher education, right? So where can we see this higher education topic in our syllabus? Tell me fast. GS paper 2 under governance topic. So here, whenever you see higher education, you have to know some dimensions. So in education, how many levels we have? For example, we have primary, we have secondary, we have higher education, and before going to school, we have preschool. Okay, we have preschool. So here you have to see, like in this education itself, we have how many sectors? We have public sector, that is government schools. Next one is private sector or private institutions. So especially you have to know about what are the problems in this higher education. Okay, and you have to see what are the measures that we are taking to address these problems, especially in this higher education. So this is your homework, guys. So please tell me about what are the problems, because most of you have completed your graduation or post graduation, and even some of you are doing PhD, I think so. So here you will be very much well known with what are the problems in our higher education, and you have to suggest. For example, if you become like a head of education ministry like that, then what are the steps that you are going to take to address these problems? So please tell me your measures and problems. So this is your homework. I think for offline students, I already gave you homework of this higher education. So did you write about measures? No, I think so. So do work on what are the measures can be taken to improve efficiency of our higher education. Okay? Yeah. So is that only article? Any more article which is important? Stalin. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, next one is our editorial page. So here you can see a budget that drives growth with stability. So why this budget is in use? Yes, we are going to have a full budget on July 23rd. So what is the keyword? Keyword is budget. Okay, so from which subject we can link with this? Yeah, it's from GS paper 2, polity. Yes, from GS paper 3, economy. Next, only polity and economy. So what it will discuss actually, what this budget will have. What is this meaning of budget? Yes, estimation of receipts and expenditure part. Okay. So here we can also connect this topic with GS paper 2 under governance, because we will be discussing about different schemes. So what about the spending, whether we have to continue that scheme or whether we have to drop out from that scheme, etc., or else whether we need new scheme like that. So this is important from governance point of view. And now tell me, what are the dimensions that you have to know? What are the dimensions? So first one is you have to understand what is the definition of budget for sure. And next one is you have to see what are the components of this budget. And actually this word budget is not there in our constitution, but instead of budget, we have article 112, which talks about annual financial statement. So it is very important. So we have this annual financial statement word which is present in our constitution and this article 12, but this word budget is not there directly in our constitution. So here UPSC will be framing question like the word budget is present in our constitution. Then it is true or false? It is false, because directly this word budget is not there, but they will be talking about this article 112 which talks about annual financial statement. That is very important. And from polity point of view, you have to see what is the process of passing of this budget. That is very important. And next one is you have to see what are the motions. So there will be cut motions, different motions, economic cut, policy cut, like that. We have 4 types of motions whenever we are passing this budget, and you have to know that. And that part will be dealt by your polity so clearly. But as of now, you have to work on these motions. So take down the question. So write a small note on different motions. Write a small note on different motions. Write a small note on different motions during the passage of budget. During the passage of budget. So you have to know different motions along with examples there. So on these motions, you can expect a prelims based question which already appeared in your prelims. So again, you can expect a repeated question on that motions. So these are the 4 dimensions that you have to know from polity point of view. And from economy point of view, you have to know the role of finance minister. So who will be reading that budget? Our finance minister, that too union finance minister. So you have to see what is the role of finance minister. And next one is you have to see what is the significance of this budget. And especially from this budget in your mains, you can get analysis based question. Like what are the challenges now we have in our economy, whether those challenges have been addressed in that budget or not. So if yes, which kind of challenges are addressed? If not, what is the way forward? Okay, understood? And whenever you are getting budget, so you have to see only budget speech, not entire budget. Okay, I'll be writing here. So you have to refer only budget speech, and in that speech, whatever the schemes there had been noted, and you have to see each and every scheme, because every year in your prelims you will get 3 to 4 questions directly from the schemes which had been noted in this budget speech. Okay. So you will be getting all this list of the schemes under this budget speech, and you have to see each and every scheme that is from your governance point of view. And this will be important from your prelims. And even this 2024 prelims also, there were 3 questions directly came from the schemes. Okay. So these are the dimensions that you have to see from this article. Is that clear? Yes or no? So first one is GS on polity, next one is economy, and third one is governance. Okay, clear? No doubt, right? Okay. So now, actually, I want to say very important thing. So what are the problems in our economy? So recently we studied that there is decreasing of private investment, and private investment is 20 years low when we see in this quarter one of this year. That is one major problem. And this one is unemployment, very high, and even inflation, yes or no? And banking sector is also running worst, yes or no? So all these problems, whether we are going to address in this budget or not, that is the one question. So this article is saying that, so this budget 2024 to 2025, which is focusing on how to improve economic growth, okay, and they are focusing on especially how to increase investment and even savings of people. Next one is fiscal consolidation and as well as employment generation. So on these issues now we are facing in our economy, our budget is going to focus, but we do not tell whatever the speech given by our finance minister in which areas we are focusing on, right? So once we are getting data, then on that data we can analyze and we can see whether exactly what they are saying. So whether they are focusing on that issues or not, we will be knowing. And once the budget budget is out, then we will be having separate class on budget also. Okay, you have to understand each and everything in the budget, where they are focusing everything. So if possible, I will be taking that, or else our Ramesh sir will be taking that budget class. Okay, so the key points are they want to first focus on increasing of investment because it is one of the huge concern now. There is decreasing of private investment now in the recent trend. So we have to increase this investment. And next one is increasing of savings is also very important. So whenever we are increasing the savings, obviously we can increase the health of banking sector because banking sector is very, very important, right? So for that they are focusing on the saving rate and as well as investment part. And even they want to promote growth. How can we promote growth? Whenever we are promoting exports. So whenever we are promoting exports means we can indirectly increase the production. So whenever there is increasing of manufacturing and production, ultimately we can increase our exports. Okay, and even employment opportunities. So that is the second thing they are focusing on. And even they are focusing on how to decrease this physical deficit. Deficit means nothing but what are the revenue we are getting minus expenditure. It will be always in the minus only in India. So we are having this physical deficit. So here how much we have to maintain, we don't know, right? So there is one act. According to that act, we will be maintaining the physical deficit. That act is FRBM Act. I think you might be knowing that FRBM Act, right? FRBM Act, did sir explain about this or not? That is Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Managementary Act. So it will be saying about how much revenue deficit we need to maintain, how much physical deficit a country need to maintain. Okay, so there will be the target, and if it is in this target, it will be good for economic stability. So if it is above or below, it will be having uncertainty in the economy. Clear? So you have to know about this FRBM Act. Take next question. Write a small note on. Write how many questions geography sir gave today? 4 or 5? Only one? No, I think so. I think 3 are there. Yesterday's. 3 questions, right? He won't give a single question, I know. So take down my question also. So write a small, don't say ish like that, okay? So it is for your sake only, not for my sake. Write a small note on FRBM Act. And I want exactly the details like how much revenue deficit need to be maintained and how much fiscal deficit need to be maintained according to this act. I want the exact number. So that number you will be directly using in your mains answer, that's what. Okay? Yeah. And now let us see this article in detail. So what is government budgeting? So government budgeting is nothing but it is having the government plans and they will be allocating and they will be monitoring the spending of public funds. So how the funds are getting? They will be imposing tax and they will be also connecting through non-tax revenues. So there will be revenue tax revenues and non-tax revenues. Apart from that, they will be having expenditure, right? So how they are balancing both? So that is called as budget. Budget is nothing but your father is doing work somewhere and he will be bringing salary and he will be giving salary to your mother, yes or no? Or else he will be using his own salary. Okay, so normally he will be giving salary to the mother, and mother is nothing but finance minister of a home, and she will be using that money, like for example how much she have to give for the rent, how much she have to spend for vegetables, how much she have to spend for the groceries, etc. So she will be the finance minister. So budget is nothing but they will be having a tally, like how much revenue they are getting and how much expenditure they have to make. And if they are having any money which is left, which is not spent, means they will be going to the banks and they will be depositing. That is called as your savings. If there is expenditure more compared to that of revenue, they have to go to neighboring house and they have to borrow the money. That is called as debit or deficit. It is as simple as that. Okay, so if you are connecting this economy with our real life, then you can easily understand the concepts. Okay, especially non-economic background students. Okay, next one is from where government is getting money. We have revenue receipts. So in this revenue receipts, they have taxes. For example, in this taxes also we have direct taxes and indirect taxes. And we have non-tax revenues, like whenever they are getting, they are giving loans to others, they will be paying interest on that. So that will be revenue. And apart from that, if you want to get anything, so we have to pay some minimum amount of fees. That will be also the revenue for the government. And if they are having anything, they got profit means, so that will be also their revenue. And from this revenue also they will be spending. So here in this spending, they have two types: planned expenditure, and next one is unplanned expenditure. So planned means nothing but, for example, they have to give salaries. For example, if government got the loan, means it have to pay the interest. So already we will be having something, the planned. Unplanned means nothing but if there is any suddenly war, like between India, China, or India and Pakistan. For example, if there is any uncertainty like COVID-19 pandemic. So in that way, so they have to spend some money that had been not yet planned, that comes under unplanned expenditure or non-planned expenditure. Clear? So this is about the revenue side. And the capital also, they will be having capital receipts and as well as capital expenditure. So capital means you have to remember they belongs to assets like buildings, schools, or hospitals, or roadways, railways, etc. For example, we are going to have this bullet train between Gujarat to Ahmedabad, Mumbai to Ahmedabad. So that will be coming under planned capital expenditure. So we are planning from long ago. For example, if you are not planning, but suddenly we need that. For example, bridge had been collapsed in Bihar. So what happened? They have to again rebuild or reconstruct that. That will be like unplanned. I hope you understand what is the difference between planned and unplanned. So these are the components in our Indian or government budget. Okay, I want to give you one mains question. Keyword is analyze. So what is the meaning of analyze? I gave you detailed explanation of keywords. What happened, Manoj? Tell me. What is analyze? Analyze. Yeah. Analyze means? Okay, so whatever the mains brochure I gave, so go through that once, and from tomorrow onwards, we will be working on that keywords once again. So tomorrow onwards, we will be having our classes, right? So it has been 3 days. I am not in the class. Only 3 days or 4 days? How many days? 4? Okay, from 4 days I am not in the class. So in this 4 days, a lot of change that I can see in you, especially in your preparation. I understood that if I am not in the class, what will going to happen? Okay, no one is reading current affairs, no one is bringing newspaper. Okay, let it be. So from tomorrow onwards, I will be in the class and I will be starting again. Okay. Okay, I want to give you like a prelims question. So which of the following is not a component of union budget? So see these options and tell me. And next one is union budget is presented annually in which month? So normally every month the budget is presented in the month of February. But what happened this year, we had elections, general elections 2024. So because of that, at that time, whatever the budget they introduced in the February, that will be for only that period, like very short period. So that is called as interim budget. So after government is formed, again for this remaining tenure, so they will be introducing the full budget. So now in this month of July, we are going to have the full budget. Normally it will be in the month of February. Clear? Okay, now let us see next topic. So here you can see one lead article, right? So it is about a new trend. India needs more than troops to combat militants in Jammu and Kashmir. So actually in front page we saw one article regarding this militant issue or terrorist attack in this Jammu and Kashmir, and now we got one editorial itself. So whenever we are getting an editorial, that will become very important, and mostly 95% of your mains question from GS paper 2 and 3 and ethics case studies, they will be coming from this editorial page. So even I can say like leave front page or other news pages, but completely read this editorial page wherever articles which are relevant from our examination point of view. And I said about you linkers, right? How to write an essay, linkers. Yes or no? So what are those linkers? So if you go through this editorials, here you can see some words which will be connecting another paragraph. So those are called as linkers. I'll show. So you can say like they said first reason here, first reason, and they started with second reason. So the second reason word is a linker here. There are not much linkers that I can see here. So every day I will be giving you the list of the linkers also. So please try to make a note of these linkers in your notes, so that whenever you're writing essay, you can use directly. So there will be no need of thinking again. Okay. So your work also, I will be simplifying your work. Don't worry. Okay. Now let us see this article in detail. So this article is saying that India faces a new trend of terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir, because what happened, there is a shifting of violence patterns. Because of this, now we require a multi-layered strategy beyond troop deployment. So earlier what happened, they used to use weapons, they used to throw bombs, right? And now what happened, because of increasing of science and technology, now the war tactics had been changed, and even we don't know like when the attacks will happen or not. So because of this, what happened, not only troop deployment, but we need multi-layered strategy. That means we have to use the traditional methods as usual, and we have to use the troops. Troops are nothing but the soldiers. And this one is we have to focus on improving of science and technology, and we have to get enough equipment on infrastructure to fight against. Right? So we have to focus on different layer strategy so that we can address this kind of new type of terrorism attack. So never and ever in this 48 hours, within 2 days, the 4 times attack had not been happened earlier. But now we are seeing within a single day, more than 2 times they are attacking, and they are following the different tactics. So in the same way, we have to be ensure that yes, we are ready for everything. We have to show that, right? And if you compare with the Pakistan, India is very huge in size, and even population is more, and even technology that we are having more. So why can't we show our preparedness to this Pakistan? Yes, we can show that, right? So for that, we need multi-layered strategy for sure. So here, what are the problems we are having in our troops? We are not using proper intelligence. Have you watched this movie of Jawan? Everyone? No? Jawan movie. So in that Jawan movie, why our Indian army people, they had been caught? Because of that equipment they had been worked in that time. That means we are not using proper technology, yes or no? And even we don't have proper intelligence. So even local people who are present in this Kashmir, so they are supporting these terror people, and they are giving information about our Indian troops and Indian requirements and Indian strategies to this terrorist, right? So because of this, what happened, we are not attracting the local people. That is one important thing, and they are acting as a secret agents. So to avoid that, yes, we need a proper intelligence system. So there is a lack of local intelligence system. So because of this, what happened? So there is a vacuum which is created, and because of this vacuum which created, that led to increasing of number of attacks in this Jammu and Kashmir. And next one is terrorist groups are utilizing even modern technology to find new routes and to maintain insurgency compared of Indian army people or Indian troops. And next one is there is a damaged trust. So trust between this local people and army is very bad. So they are not trusting our people. They start trusting these Pakistanis, and as well as especially this terrorist, because they are inciting difference by using religion concept. Okay, so that is one important thing. And even what happened, local militants, as they face insurgency, which reflects an attempt to deflect international pressure on Pakistan and present a more homegrown image. So actually what happened in this international relations also, so earlier here Pakistan used to have a lot of pressure that you have to stop the state sponsored terrorism like that, but now what happened, so they had been diverted to other geopolitical issues like Israel Palestine issue and as well as Russia Ukraine conflict like that. So because of this now there is a decreasing of pressure on this especially Pakistan. So it is also one of the important reason because of which they are raising terrorist activities in India. Clear? Clear or not? And even what are the security situation we have? So we are not in a good situation to bounce back. And next one is even we need to follow proper standard operating procedure. When we are following this proper standard operating procedure, so we can mitigate these casualties. Casualties means nothing but deaths of the soldiers. So that is the thing which mainly said. And I gave you one mains question. So if you want, you can make a note of this question and try to write an answer for this. So question is, discuss the multifaceted nature of terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir and its impact on regional stability and national security. So you will write this answer. Yes or no? Say one thing. Yes or no? You can write. Come on, take down Manoj. You? Okay. Okay, let it be. And next one is, again I took one more article from our editorial itself. It is talking about the shape of manufacturing 3.0 for Modi 3.0. So what is Modi 3.0? Modi 3.0. Yes. Yes, it is the third term of Modi ji. So he elected again as our leader of party, right? So Modi, he is in power from last 3 terms. So this is the third term, right? So from last 2 terms he had been in the power and third term also. Now he is our prime minister. So if you see this article, it is talking about manufacturing 3.0. So what is this manufacturing 3.0? So I will give you some idea. So this article is talking about our manufacturing sector first. So manufacturing sector comes under which? Okay. From GS paper 3 under economy, we will be reading this topic, right? So here can we connect this manufacturing with other subjects? Can we connect with GS paper 2 polity? So how we can connect with polity? So in this manufacturing units, who will be working? Labor. So to protect the work of labor, protect the dignity of labor, we have labor laws. And recently, we have codified our complex labor laws into 4 labor codes. Any idea, anyone? Labor codes, 4 labor codes. So here we can connect with this GS paper 2 under polity. And apart from this, if this manufacturing sector is not working well, it will be having impact on our society and it will cause this societal issues. So can we connect with Indian society and social issues or social justice? Yes, because it is having huge impact. And can we connect with other subjects? Tell me. So how can we improve our manufacturing sector? Yes, very good. GS paper 3 under science and technology. We can focus on how can we use technology to improve the work or productivity of this manufacturing sector. And can you add any dimension? So can we connect with GS paper 2 under international relations? So can we get technology from other countries to improve this sector? Or else can we compare with Japan and China? Mass production, production by mass. So China, why it became developed and why it is good, doing good in this manufacturing sector? Production by mass. So can you add this dimension? Yes. And other than that, can you add any more subject here? Think. I want to make you think. So if you start thinking something, then you'll be will be in the position to analyze yourself. Come on, which subject we can connect? So can we connect with GS paper 3 under environment and ecology? So because of manufacturing sector, because of releasing of emissions, it is causing environmental pollution, and whatever the industries, whenever they are releasing the waste without proper treatment into rivers, will it cause river pollution or not? Can you add this dimension and tell me any more other dimensions? Come on, think. So how many topics we covered? How many subjects we covered? So first one is GS paper 2 IR, next one is science and technology, environment, polity, and internal security. Is it enough? So how many? Like 5, 6. So just one topic I connect with 6 subjects. So whenever you are writing body of your answer, can you write each and every point? Yes or no? So in this way you have to write answers in multi-dimensional manner, and in this way you have to think in your essay also. Okay, now let us see this article, and this article here it is talking about just what are the challenges we are having in our manufacturing sector, and you have to make a note of this for sure. It is very important because you have to know. So first one here is employment problem we are having. So whenever we are increasing employment opportunities in this manufacturing sector, so we can suck more unemployed persons, and at least we can give employment opportunities. And whenever we are increasing employment opportunities in this manufacturing sector, we can also decrease pressure on agriculture sector. So India's economy is based on agriculture, which is primary sector or primary economy, right? So if you want to decrease pressure on this agriculture, we have to improve employment opportunities in this secondary sector. And next one here is when we can make our manufacturing sector to produce more goods whenever we are decreasing our imports. Yes or no? So we have to improve our exports than imports. Okay, we have to promote our exports. That means government need to support industries so that they can produce more. Whenever they are producing more, they are going to export to other countries. So whenever we are becoming exports, then we can automatically reduce our imports so that there will be increasing of competition. And next one here is, if you want to improve your manufacturing sector, if you want to produce like drugs, like medicines, drugs is nothing but medicines. So in that I said about this component API, active pharmaceutical principle, is very important. Active pharmaceutical ingredient or active pharmaceutical principle. So even sir also discussed about this, I think so. So India is importing this API. So if we are not getting API, means there is no production of manufacturing sector of this pharmaceuticals. So we have to ensure proper supply chains. So whatever the raw material we need for the production of so and so, yes, we need to have the proper supply of this goods. Okay. Next one here is we have to focus on security. So if there is no security, then we can't ensure the proper production is happening. That is the one important thing that we have to focus. So here regional security is also important, and as well as supply chains is also very, very important. And not only that, do you know about the scheme of India, which is focusing on increasing of production, especially to improve this manufacturing sector? We have Skill India, we have Standard Up India, we have Make in India, right? So here, even this shift should be moved towards creating of jobs in even other sectors also. And even this article is saying that we have to have the proper collaboration with US and as well as some Indian states, so that we can enhance economic governance and so that we can attract more investment. So even if you are attracting more investment from other countries, we can boost our manufacturing sector. So all these things which mainly said. So if you are doing all this, and India will become a very good market when we are compared to that of China, because we are having good population, so that India can provide good labor, and that too at a very cheaper rates compared to that of other countries. And even we are having good government. So we are having good government policies so that we can attract more investment, so that if it happens on a very smooth way, then India will become the developed country. Okay, so that is the thing that you have to focus. No doubts, right? Yeah, and I want to give you one flow chart. It is about talking of our Indian manufacturing sector is what are the challenges it is facing. So first one is infrastructure deficiencies. So we don't have proper transport, we don't have proper logistics. So first one is we don't have proper infrastructure, and government needs to boost this infrastructure through any schemes. And next one is we don't have proper bureaucratic rules, and even red tapeism will be there, corruption, nepotism, whatnot. Every problem we will be having in our government sector. That is also one important thing that we need to address. And next one is whatever the students who are completing their graduation, so whatever the skills that is required by the industry, we don't have that skill. So skill is lacking. So it is also one problem. And next one is we don't have proper technology when we are comparing with the top other countries. So we need to have proper technology and innovation, and especially our government needs to improve investment in research and development. And even we have to attract this private people to invest in this research and development, because when you are comparing with the top other countries, India is spending a very, very less amount in this research and development. And next one is whatever the finance. For example, if I want to invest to come up with a hostel for my students, I need to have finance. If I go to anywhere, so they don't see my face and they don't give me loan, right? So proper credit facility is not there in India. So we need to enhance this credit facilities also, so that many small and medium enterprises, they will be boosting up, so that what happens, so they will create employment and we can address this problem of our unemployment, etc. And next one is what are the environmental and sustainability issues are there, all we are having. So we don't have proper waste treatment, and we don't follow proper norms. What are the laws are there? So always we will be using the loopholes and we will be coming out of that, right? So that is also one important problem. And there is one more mains question, you can write it. Examine the key challenges faced by manufacturing sector. So I gave in that flow chart 7 important challenges that we are facing in our sector, and you have to see how can you address them. That means you have to write measures, and the word limit is 250. So I gave you only 2 questions here. What are the challenges and what are the measures? Okay, now I think you can write it. Yes or no? At least 5 points there. So what are the challenges you are writing? In measures, you have to give some ideas like how to address them. Okay, it is very easy. And next is from our OPED page. In this opinion page, so I took this topic of ICET, it is very important. It is Initiative for Critical Engineering, Critical Emerging Technologies. ICET. ICET. It is talking about emerging technologies. So actually this article is saying about India and US relations. Okay, it is talking about India-US relations. So whenever we are having relationship between two countries like India and US, so if you are focusing on technology, so if you are getting some technology here, so the problem here is there is no technology transfer. So in international relations, we will be studying that between two countries you are having agreements, you are getting new technology. For example, do you know about this Rafale jets we are getting from other country? So whenever we are getting this type of agreements with other countries that we are going to get this equipment, so they will send only the equipment to India, but they won't us give what technology they used, what formula they used. For example, if we got so and so jet, okay, it is jet we got from so and so country to India. Okay, so after we got this for 6 months, it was excellent. It worked very fast. So no damage, nothing. But after 6 months, what happened? Started giving some trouble. So whenever it started giving trouble, we have to make it correct, yes or no? So we need one service person to make it correct. So at that time, if you are having technology transfer, if we know what exactly they used, what is the mechanism they followed, what is the coding and everything. So if there is any problem, from India also we have good intellectuals like you. So you'll be doing that work or not? So if they are not giving the technology, then what we have to do, we have to take this entire equipment to so and so country where we bought, and we have to stay there. We don't know how many days it will take, right? So that is a problem. So whenever you are having agreements regarding technology, and we can get upgraded technology, but the problem is there is no technology transfer. So even with this India and US also, so US is not ready to give this technology. They don't want to transfer the technology. Okay, that is a problem which is mainly said in this article. That's it. Now let us see this is in detail. Okay, here you can see in executing ICT in this technology, US defense companies autonomy limits technology transfer to India. So even we are going to have this ICT which is between India and US, but now US it is not ready to give this technology transfer to India. That is a one important problem. And here you have to know what is this ICT, what is significance, everything. So from this ICT you can expect prelims and as well as mains based question. Okay. So what happened recently, second review meeting of India-US initiative on critical emerging technology, that is ICT. So ICT is nothing but initiative on critical and emerging technology. It had been chaired by our India's National Security Advisor and US counterpart. Recently it had been happened in this Delhi region. So finally what happened? So they don't want to transfer technology under this ICT. Okay, so ICT was announced in year 2022 between India and US. So here you can get a question like recently ICT is in news. So between which and which country it had been finalized. So they gave options like India, US, India, France, India, Russia. Now you know that. But if I ask the same question after 2 months, ma'am, I didn't heard about this word. Did you say? No, I don't have any idea. So this will be the question that I will expect, I will compulsorily get from you students. So for that only, whenever you are getting this type of small things, try to make a note in your book and try to revise them repeatedly. Okay. So ICET, which is between India and as well as US. So it is about what? It is about just development and as well as co-production. So we are producing together these different technologies. Okay, so why it is important? Especially to improve the linkage between India and as well as US defense system. So whenever we want to have this technology which is as par of US, we need to have this type of agreements, and even to strengthen our ties between India and US also it will be very helpful. And next one is they will be having very high advanced technologies. So here at least equipments we can get. Even if you are not getting the technology transfer, at least equipments we can get from US. And next one is if you are getting this type of equipment, so we can show that yes, we have all these equipments. For example, on the Republic Day, so we will be showcasing our equipments that we have, right, in parade. So here, if you are showing that, other countries will be getting at least some fear that if you are going to that country, if you want to have a fight for that country, they are very, very well advanced. So they have well advanced technology. We can't fight with that. So we can create an environment that yes, we have all this environment, all these equipments. We should not, you will be not capable with that equipment that we are having. So we can showcase our power. And next I gave you one question, so you can go to that question. Yes, next topic here is what is draft digital competition bill? So it is very important from your prelims. So where we can connect this topic? Yes, tell me, digital competition bill. Bill, where will come across this bill? So we have GS paper 2 under polity and governance. Apart from that, even we can connect this article with GS paper 3 under economy. So if you understand like where we can connect, at least half of your reading of newspaper will be done. So first you have to focus on thinking process. So where we can connect exactly, or else in which subjects we can connect. So is there any scope with connection of other subjects? So first you have to think about interlinking. So if you get this idea of interlinking, you can easily get ideas and paragraphs in your essays. Yes or no? So to get multidimensional thing, yes, you have to think, and this thinking process should start with newspaper. So for new students, I will be taking classes on micro listing of topics. After that, you will be in that situation. Okay, don't worry. Okay, so now if you see this article, it says that draft digital competition bill introduces ex ante regulation for digital markets. So here you have to focus on this word ex ante. So normally you can see Ex post. Ex post means nothing but after happening of incident, we will be coming up with that of law. But it is talking about ante. Ante means nothing but before. So even before we are coming up with digital market, so we are going to have this digital competitive bill. Okay, that is the thing. And actually this digital competition bill which aims to introduce a regulatory framework for digital markets. So what are the digital markets are there? So we are focusing on controlling of that markets, especially to increase effectiveness and as well as to maintain proper, to regulate properly. And even we have to focus on investment, scalability, in innovation, competition, this digital market landscape. So we need this kind of law. That's it, nothing much. And I also gave you one mains question here. And if you go to our paper, so in this text and context, I discussed about this draft digital competition bill. And if you move on to this news page, is there anything important in this news page? No idea. Okay. Okay, let us see. Yeah, this article is important. It is talking about India, Russia to boost bilateral trade to $100 billion by 2030. Okay, and in which sectors we are going to focus, and these sectors are very important. First one is energy sector, next one is infrastructure, next one is development, and fourth one is agriculture. So in these four sectors we are going to have improving of our relationship between Russia. And once this meeting is done between our Modi sir and Putin sir, we will be getting lots and lots of editorials. There will be getting detailed analysis. So as of now, we have to remember in these four sectors we are going to have advancements: energy, infrastructure, development, and agriculture. And most of the articles are based on this meeting only today. Nothing is important. Yes, in this business page you can see note ban GST COVID cost rupees 11.3 lakh crore and 1.6 crore informal jobs. So actually whatever the economic slowdown that happened now, or whatever the economic crisis we are having now, so it is related to note ban. That is nothing but demonetization which happened in 2016 or 17. Demonetization 16 or 17? 16. Okay, and next GST 2017, and next COVID-19 pandemic. So whenever you're writing your economic answers, so write all these 3 points. So what are the important reasons for the economic crisis? Demonetization, GST, and as well as COVID-19, because it is given authenticatedly. So because of these three events, that led to loss of 1.6 crore informal jobs. So because of this, now we can see there is increased unemployment rate in our country. That thing that you can see. And next one is minimum support price, loan waiver, crucial issues for farmers. And actually, so this topic is regarding budget. So once budget is released, so we are going to see like where, how much amount they are allocating and which scheme they are focusing and everything. We will be having a detailed discussion. So as of now, you have to remember about this minimum support price. So I already said about the story of minimum support price, right? Yes or no? In earlier class, we had discussed about this minimum support price. And once we are getting budget, we will be having the separate sessions on that. Okay, and in this world page, okay, nothing. So these are the important topics that appear in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much guys. And one more thing is here we are going to start the new batch for GS online and as well as offline foundation course for prelims and mains. And if you are interested, so please try to choose the right academy because it is your future, it is your goal. So if you want to achieve your goal, so mentorship and as well as proper coaching center is compulsory. So try to choose a right center, and we are going to start a new batch soon. So if you want to take admissions and if you have any queries regarding this course, you can call me on this number 8074765513. And we in our academy, we are also launching current affairs course and as well as NCRT course. So whatever the course you are interested, you can download our app and the link is given in the description box. So there you can have a look of our courses. And if you have any queries regarding the course, you can text me on this number or else you can directly talk to me. So thank you so much guys. That's all today. And please do like this class and share this class to your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to Rathods Science Academy. And thank you. Exactly 1 hour.